Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining Ursuline College's session of the OACAC StriveCan Fair. My name is Roslyn Porch, and I will be your presenter for today for Ursuline College. So let's just go right ahead and jump into it. Okay, so here's some contact information. That'll be at the end as well. So if you wanted to take a photo of this, or if you wanted to snapshot it later, by all means, feel free to do so. Also, a quick little note. You can feel free to ask questions throughout the session. There is a Q&A section that you should be able to just go ahead and jump right into throughout the session, and I'll be able to either answer those probably towards the end, just so I can get them all answered during one time. All right, so let's talk about Ursuline's Promise. So just to begin really quickly, Ursuline is a private liberal arts institution located in Pepper Pike, Ohio, in the city of Cleveland, Ohio. We are a women's focused institution, and we set out to strive that all of our students who enroll at Ursuline leave successful, and we have a few key Ursuline promises that we want to make sure that we mention during this presentation. When you come to Ursuline, know that you're going to get leadership experience, you're going to get women's leadership experience there. We strive ourselves on making sure that our women and our men, once they leave Ursuline, are successful, that they have engaged with a community via internship or via research program or via work study program on campus. We also want to make sure that whatever your vocation is attached to your purpose. So we're not just there to make sure that you're in a class. We're there to make sure that you're well-rounded once you leave Ursuline College. We want to make sure that you have the skills and that you have the tools that you need so that when you do graduate, you can be successful in the field. A lot of our students upon graduation get employed at either past internships or at new jobs nationwide. And we want to make sure that if you choose to come to Ursuline, that you'll be able to have the same experience. We want to make sure that your voice is heard in your experience and that we cater it to the exact needs that you need to make sure that you make sure your purpose is fulfilled. And last but not least, career mentoring. I'll talk about the CareerFIT program a little bit later on in the session. However, I did want to mention that our CareerFIT program actually allows our students to get certificates at the end of their graduation that they can then use to market themselves. But we do strive ourselves on these promises: women's leadership, community engagement, vocation on your purpose, and career mentoring. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about Ursuline and what you truly want in your education. We strive in our commitment to women by promoting teaching, programming, research. We want to make sure that our women are advancing in various fields and that they're connecting with other women in the community. A lot of times we send our students to different conferences, or we have different socials for our students, or we invite community members on our campus to speak with our students. So that way they know not only what's going on their campus, but what's going on in their community. We offer different cultural activities for our young women and men on campus. We want to make sure that we prioritize getting them culturally engaged. We actually have a art theater on campus, a small theater on campus that our students can engage in, a great art therapy program, and different humanity programs that our students can become involved in, where they can stay culturally aware of what's going on in their community and on their campus. By equipping these students to address these different challenges, they're able to be better equipped once they leave Ursuline's campus. We want to provide them with these opportunities so that way they can showcase the education that and experience they have gotten while attending Ursuline College. So that way they can reciprocate that back to the community and back to the women in their own lives. And that's last but not least, we want to create an environment where women feel safe. We want to make sure they feel comfortable. We have different spaces on campus where you can get different counseling and tutoring, and our Women's Center does a lot of promotion for different women events on campus and different women in the community who are really thriving. And And that's Ursuline's commitment to women. We want to make sure that when you come, you know that this education is your choice and this experience is your choice. We want to make sure that you have a comfortable atmosphere. Our faculty and staff are always heavily engaged with our student population, making sure they're successful not only in their coursework, but any other activities that they choose to do while attending Ursuline. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and put it in the chat box. All right. Our 150th anniversary is this year, so we're so excited to share this with you. We are truly forward thinking, and we are truly supporting our women and empowering them to really change our society and to progress our society as our society is totally shifting during this time. We want to encourage students to apply here to feel encouraged, especially, and I'll talk a little bit later on about the application process, but especially during that essay, when you're writing specifically to think about times where, you know, you felt empowered or you felt encouraged or you've accomplished something, or, you know, you were able to push through something, or you're proud about something. We really, you know, want to see women who are involved in their community and, you know, making sure that not only are they keeping up with their academics, but they're also finding ways to give back. Okay, let's jump a little bit into academic support. So Ursuline College has over 20 plus majors. I do want to highlight a few different majors. Ursuline is actually known for our nursing program. We're actually ranked on the top 10 list in the nation, which is pretty cool. We also have our students go to various different hospitals, and we have various different partnerships in Cleveland with Cleveland Clinic, university hospitals, Metro Health hospitals, and many other different medicine organizations in the Cleveland area. Our art therapy program is also well known for being well known in our city and in the nation for being a great program. We recruit fantastic students, and our faculty and staff also make sure that these students have what they need to accomplish their goals. In connection with that, we have a 3+3 program where you can actually earn your master's in art therapy as well. The two other programs I want to mention are our engineering 3+2 program partnership, which is a new program, and then our exercise science program. So if you are interested in those two fields, please let us know. We'd be happy to take a call with you. We'd be happy to set you up with a time to talk to a faculty member or a staff member to walk you through the process of being a major in those programs and any other programs that you see here listed. So if you are interested in one of our traditional programs, please let us know. We'll be happy to walk you through the process and your families through the process. All right, so how is Ursuline unique? And because we are a private liberal arts institution, all these things are unique to Ursuline. Small class sizes, that means you get individual attention. I like to say at Ursuline, there's high resources that students can gain in high access. So students always have the opportunity to have some type of outside experience other than the academic classroom and inside the classroom as well. So if there's 8-on-1 for a student and a teacher, a lot of times there's a lot more class discussion, there's a lot more freedom to voice your opinion, and the faculty member is able to engage students on a one-on-one basis. You're also able to get more one-on-one interaction as far as tutoring, as far as different counseling services, different programs that you may want to be a leader in. You may have more of those opportunities, especially at Ursuline College. No teaching assistants means, like I said, you have that dedicated faculty member. And we have a diverse student body, and our diversity office does a fantastic job with their cultural programming, with their informational programming, with their trainings for different students and staff on campus. So like I mentioned earlier in the presentation, we do want to make sure that our students have that women's leadership, that they are getting that community engagement, and that we're connecting their academic and their work experience to their purpose. Other support services that we had, like I mentioned before, are tutoring services. You can get paired up with a tutor one-on-one. A lot of times, students can actually set up their own schedule with their tutor, so that way it can work for them. You'll see a lot of athletes that may do that, or students who may be commuters, who may be only on campus for only certain parts of their week. So it's definitely flexible. A lot of times too, sometimes students will even use the same tutor continuing into the next year if they had the same class or if they just built a good relationship. We also have other accommodations. If you need accommodations, we do note takers, we do extended test times. We also do assistance with textbooks and different technologies if you either don't have them or you're just, you need training or help getting through those different technologies. And we do offer our focus programs who work with students who may have different learning issues or just need extra help in the classroom. So if you are looking for support, Ursuline definitely has it. Our campus is very small, so you can reach out to pretty much anyone if you are needing extra academic help. We do pride ourselves on our academic rigor of campus, and we do pride ourselves on making sure that our students get the support that they need. So if you're looking for that help, reach out to a faculty member, staff member, if someone can lead you to that service. That way you get the help sooner than later. All right, so let's talk a little bit about outside the classroom. So we spoke a little about Ursuline's purpose, and we talked a little bit about the academic programs we have on campus, our class sizes, the uniqueness of our class sizes in our campus. Now let's talk a little bit about outside the classroom, because we want to make sure, like I mentioned before, that our students have a holistic experience. Also, just to know, and I know a lot of you guys who are on the web right now may or may not have a chance to visit campus. By the way, we encourage you to set up a visit to Ursuline's College. It's a beautiful campus. It sits on numerous acres of land, and it's just a really cozy campus with a huge lake. I don't know if you saw it in the beginning picture, but this is one of our residence halls on campus when it's fully decked out with students. It's a little different now, but it's still residence halls, and we still have our residence halls currently open for the fall. Okay, so we have 3 halls, Grace, Murphy, and Smith. We do not require our students to stay on campus for the first year. So if you are, close, or you just decide to get your own place, or you just decide to have other living arrangements, we don't require you to stay on campus. Also, all of our students are allowed to have their cars on campus. There's really no designated student parking, quote unquote. The parking fee would be integrated into the student fees. There's also a full kitchen in the residence hall. So if you have, I don't know, mom's favorite meal that you want to cook, or you want to, cook up something, I don't know, mac and cheese or something like that, you can definitely do that in our full kitchen. But we also have a high quality dining service. Our dining services is METS, and it's located in our Appella Student Center. And I can definitely vouch and say that our dining services is of high quality. We have fresh fruits and veggies imported locally. Our chefs and METS definitely take the time to get to know our students, get to know their orders. Even now during this time, our METS staff and our METS chefs prepare hot meals for the students and the staff, 3 days out of the week. Different salad bars and things like that. So they're definitely accommodating. They're definitely health conscious and safe. Variety of options, gluten-free, anything that you may need. They can even do special orders if that's what a student may need, and give them a time to accommodate that. So if you are looking for just food on campus, it's definitely there. We also have different snacks and things you can buy. We also have a new cafe locating in our redesigned library. So you're able to go there. You can get coffee, tea, different snacks, and all those things. So we definitely have high priority housing and dining. A little bit about student life. So I mentioned before about our majors, but let's talk a little bit about, the happenings on campus. So we definitely have a good handful of organizations that you can be involved in. We have nursing organizations. We have different diversity organizations that you can be involved in. Other things that we also offer are our mystery bus tours. Essentially, this is a student activity that a lot of our students take advantage of, and a lot of them really enjoy. So essentially what happens is there will be some type of post or announcement about the mystery bus tour. All the student has to do is sign up for the bus tour, but you don't know where you're going until you get on the bus. Now there is a chaperone and a student lead with you, one that is full-time staff. So you're definitely in safe hands, but the students get to go around the city of Cleveland. Sometimes they've gone to Kalahari, they've done pedicure and manicure mystery tour buses. They've gone to different concerts and different games like Cleveland Browns and Cleveland Indian games around Cleveland. So it's really fun for the students because there's some mystery in that, and they get to bond with other students and also bond with the community of Cleveland. Founders Week is a week that we dedicate to our founders of Ursuline. A lot of students volunteer and do different faculty and staff do different activities for Founders Week. It's just a way for us to remember our founders and celebrate them for their dedication to education and laying the foundation for Ursuline College. Free Film Fridays are a series of films that happen throughout the semester. They promote these on our Arrows Weekly. So as a student at Ursuline College, you'll actually get just a weekly newsletter that'll have the different happenings that are going on throughout the week, so you can stay up to date and involved with the Ursuline community. On that same Arrows Weekly, you will see multiple community service opportunities. A lot of times students will do things for canned food drives or do things for the Cleveland Food Bank, doing things for MOK Day of Service. So we do want to make sure our students stay engaged with the area. And we also, like I mentioned earlier, like to hear the voices of our students. So during those opportunities, we get feedback from our students. And we also get feedback from the community members that we're doing the service for. And last but not least, all of our students, truly in my opinion, are rock stars, but we do a student leadership award ceremony for students who have been involved on campus. A lot of times too, what you'll see at Ursuline is our students truly enjoy stepping up. Some of them have a significant amount of things that they're balancing. Maybe they're athlete, but they're also, in the nursing program, and they're also, doing, this other, projects and things like that too. So, and they have their social life, and, they want to stay engaged on campus. So the one thing that I see at Ursuline a lot of times is student leaders stepping up to help the Ursuline community internally as well. We have a lot of different students who also work on campus. So this is also a part of student life. We have a lot of students who may work our phones or may work in the libraries and get that worldly experience as well on the Ursuline campus. Some of them even step up and volunteer to do different speaking engagements for the campus community. So we really do encourage our students to be well-rounded and make sure that we're giving them the opportunities to fulfill that promise that I mentioned before. Speaking of athletics, we are in the NCAA Division II sports. We have a significant amount of sports at Ursuline. So if you're looking to get involved or stay involved with sports and you're continuing from high school, feel free to let us know. Our coaches are very hands-on and engaged with our students as far as their and student athletes as far as their application process and just transitioning in, making sure they're comfortable, have what they need. They also offer athletic scholarships. Now that would be different from your normal scholarship package that Ursuline would offer you, but they do offer scholarships as well. And that would be something that the coach would have to walk you through, and we would make sure that you get a one-on-one with the coach. A lot of times we do have athletes who come from different high schools, and they will set up their visit, and while they're there, they will also meet with one of the coaches of their interest. So if you are interested in that, please let us know. Again, basketball, cross country, golf, soccer, softball, tennis, track and field, volleyball, bowling, swimming, and lacrosse. And we also just added stunt this past fall. So if you're interested, let us know. And then last but not least, our service and social justice. Our diversity offices do a lot with service and service learning. We have a few trips abroad that may be on hold for now, and then like I mentioned before, tons of volunteer opportunities to keep our students engaged, to make sure they're aware of what's going on. We also have a lot of different discussions on campus that revolve around social justice, around service and social justice issues, not only as a faculty and staff, but in leadership of campus, but we also invite students into those conversations. We also allow students to have spaces to have different conversations about the various social movements that are happening at this time. So we truly want our students to be submerged in the liberal arts education at Ursuline College. And like I mentioned before, just to retouch on that again, that leadership, the community engagement, your vocation for purpose, I hope you're kind of starting to see how Ursuline College uses the college experience to truly make sure that we're giving you the purpose of that leadership, of the engagement, and fulfilling that purpose while helping you build the career that you see yourself in. So speaking of careers, I'm going to jump into CareerFIT. CareerFIT is actually a new program that we added to, a new initiative that we added to Ursuline. It is truly a fantastic program. One of our staff members, Julie Jones, actually leads the program, and all students who are enrolled at Ursuline actually start with an assessment. And essentially, as they go through their college experience, they're able to review their strengths and meet with a career coach to help them kind of guide and navigate what experience they want to have. So it gives the students some structure in not only their I would say academic too, because there's definitely overlap, but also the vocational experiences. So how is, the classes tying into what you want to do? So the student will take the assessment, they'll get their results, they'll meet with their coach, they'll do some modules, and then towards the end, after they've done and complete these modules, the students will then be able to get certificates. These certificates show employers and show future organizations that they may be working for that they can communicate clearly. They're certified in working in teams, thinking on their feet, in problem solving, and in self-management. So these certificates give our students another way to market themselves on a broader scale. During this assessment and completion of these assessments, our students are going to be able to clearly articulate different things that other students may not be able to. They're going to be able to say that I can work in teams and I have this to prove that I can do these things on top of my baccalaureate degree. So just take that into note when you're thinking about, like I mentioned before, the college experience, what you want to get out of it, and what that experience means to you. Ursuline prides ourselves on making sure that the liberal arts education is lived up to, and that we fulfill that time of the student being with us at Ursuline. We do also have a lot of students who, like I mentioned before, go through the CareerFIT and are able to have a little bit more classroom success because they know their strengths more just by going through the career assessment. So it also has other advantages, not only for the vocational, but also in the classroom. And not only that, but employers want they want to know that a student is able to have these different skills coming in the workforce. Our students are going to be nationally recognized with these certifications and the ability to learn and do these specific skills. They're also going to be certified in Microsoft Office Suite. All of these skills will allow our students to self-manage, to communicate better, to work in teams better, to problem solve, and to think on their feet. And in this ever-shifting world, these are major skills for any employee to have, to be able to make sure that you're able to self-manage what you have going on. Like I mentioned, our students do have a lot on their plate, and we have high academic rigor at Ursuline. Our faculty truly challenge our students to push and do as best they can while they're at Ursuline, to communicate, to be involved with those around you, and to be able to not only work in teams, but to be able to be open to different opinions that are in the room. And then to think on your feet. Things change and shift all the time. We see that happening now, but our students have these certifications that show that they've done and applied these skills, and that they're able to do them in a office environment or in their career. So just to give you a little bit more data, so future plans and CareerFIT really helps you kind of map out your future plans and what you want to do without feeling too overwhelmed. I know this during the application process, during your senior year, you have a lot going on, especially now. So at Ursuline, we want to make sure that you are able to have the assistance in balancing the different steps that you may need to do, or that you may not know you need to do to feel comfortable merging into your career. We actually have a total number of 115,000 plus clinical and internship hours completed in 2016, and I'm pretty sure that number has gone up from there. I don't know what the numbers are this year, but we are always getting clinicals out to students, and our nursing program will be able to clarify those numbers. But our internship hours are necessary, we feel, to the student's success and being able to have a real world experience before leaving the college campus. We also want to make sure that their resumes are built around their interests and goals, and that they're able to put those internship hours that they've completed at various organizations on their resume. All right, so we're going to jump a little bit into the admissions process. So just to reiterate again, we talked about a little bit about the academics and about social life and campus life at Ursuline. Now, the admissions process is something you definitely want to key your ears in for as we talk about what it will look like as a student at Ursuline and to apply to Ursuline College. So we do a holistic application review, just like we do a holistic support process and roundabout process for our students when they come to campus. We want to see on your application that you have good academic experiences. Maybe you're in CCP, or maybe you have AP credits, or maybe you've taken the classes necessary and achieved the grades necessary to fulfill the requirements at Ursuline. So a lot of times our median GPA is a 3.46 with the median ACT, the 20 to 24. However, those numbers shouldn't deter you. We want you to apply because, like I mentioned before, we also have a holistic application review. We do take into consideration community involvement and outside involvement. We also, like I mentioned earlier, truly do look at that essay for just the character of the student. We want to know who you are. We want to know your experience. Sometimes we'll even see students talk a little bit about why they had a gap year in their experience, or why their grades may not reflect what they truly would think they should, or their scores. So we're open to hearing your stories, and we're open to hearing your experience, especially as it relates to building your academic profile and your academic application at Ursuline College. So how do you apply? We are on the Common App, so it's free to apply there for Ursuline College. There's no application fee. And we do have the ursuline.edu/apply website. You can go there as well. From that website, you can navigate pretty much through Ursuline's page, or you can just go to ursuline.edu. We do require the official ACT or SAT scores if you submit them. However, at this point, we are test optional. So if you're going to submit them, we do want them to be official. However, we are test optional. We do require the official high school transcript. And like I mentioned before, the personal essay. The admission decision usually falls within about 2 weeks unless unless your application has to go under review, then it's maybe a week or a week and a half longer. However, like I mentioned before, we are test optional. So for those who would like to apply, you can. And we're also even doing pulling applications now. So if you're interested, feel free to do so. And we're also taking applications for spring as well. Okay, so let's look at the Ursuline scholarship process. So the estimated cost of attendance at Ursuline is $34,000. That is the tuition rate when you're taking anywhere between 24 and 36 credit hours, and that is per academic year. The room and board is $11,500 if you choose to stay on campus. As I mentioned prior in the presentation, it is not required for students to stay on campus. It's totally up to you. And then fees are $490. Fees you'll see built around the parking and other fees that are maintenance fees and things like that added to that. So altogether, your average cost, if you choose to stay on campus, would be about $46,200, and then the average aid paid for the fall was $36,000. So that was the average aid paid out in the package for the fall, and you'll see that as I move forward, looking into our merit-based scholarships. So Ursuline offers all students who apply and who are admitted a scholarship, which is great. So according to this map, you can look and see where you may fall. So if you're a student and you have a 3.4 GPA and you have a 21 on your ACT, you would fall into the 18,005 category. So that's kind of how you would see it, and you would get the Ursuline scholarship. Each student gets offered a merit-based scholarship if they choose to apply to Ursuline. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I know that scholarships and things like this can be a little bit complicated for students, so we definitely want to make sure that our students have exactly what they need and know that we will walk them through and make sure they feel supported during this process. And our way to do this is to guarantee you just a couple steps, 4 different steps to guarantee you that financial success, to make sure that we help you, guide you along, especially if this is maybe, if you're maybe a first-gen student, or if you just need help being walked through the process, or your family needs help getting walked through the process. So you're going to complete the admission process early. By completing this process early, you are able to focus more on that FAFSA. The application's out of the way, you've talked to your counselor, you've submitted your documentation, you've done your essay. Make sure that application is complete. Then once you start to file your FAFSA, which opens up October 1 every year, the earlier you do it, the better. That way your applications are done, they're complete, you can get your aid award sooner. And then make sure you do submit that last minute documentation. Sometimes there may be a request for some verification and things like that. So we definitely want to make sure that you submit those documentation. And then always communicate with the financial aid office. So if you do have questions during the process, or if your family has questions during the process, just keep in contact with financial aid, keep in contact with your counselor at Ursuline. We'll be happy to make sure that your needs are met and that your family's questions are answered and your questions are answered as we guide you through the FAFSA application and the FAFSA process. Also want to mention too that sometimes your high schools may have these also have these opportunities too to get financial aid help. But as it relates to Ursuline and questions about Ursuline in our college, please don't hesitate to reach out so that way we can make sure you get everything that you need. Last but not least, we're here to help. We know that this whole process can seem intimidating, let alone the financial aid process, submitting different documentation and things like that. The FAFSA website, they have made it really fairly easy to guide you through. And then the financial aid process, once you have done your FAFSA, if they need any final verification or making sure you accept different things, they'll definitely let you know. Our staff is very interactive with our students, just like everybody on our staff on campus. We want to make sure our students have what they need and that they're getting the resources they need to be successful. We sent out our first financial aid packages in December. So if you decided that you want to apply now, feel free to do so. That means you'll just get your package a little bit sooner. And then we'll be there to walk you and your family through the financial aid process. So essentially what that'll look like is if you decide to submit that before December, you'll be good to go. And then if you have any other questions, we'll make sure you're set. And come spring, we'll kind of just walk you through whatever you need if you want to visit campus again or if you want to talk to a student, and just make sure you're good to go for the upcoming semester. Okay, so here's your timeline. So you're going to make sure you want to apply. Priority deadline to apply is November 1st and then December 1st. So November 1st and December 1st. You could apply you can apply to Ursuline online, like I mentioned before. You definitely want to make sure that you apply. I'm sorry, I think one of those is the transfer deadline. November 1st is the transfer deadline. But the priority deadline for maximum aid is December 1st. And the deposit is May 1st. So essentially what your semester or what your senior year would look like if you're planning to apply early would be, okay, I'm gonna apply by December 1st. So I get the priority deadline and then I will get the maximum aid before December 1st. And then once you've applied, you're good to go. And then all you have to worry about is National Decision Day, which is May 1st, and depositing. The deposit just confirms that you have accepted your admissions to Ursuline, and we will get you tied into our Ursuline community. Okay, well that about wraps up my slide. Again, my name is Rosalind Porch. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions at Ursuline College. It was such a pleasure to chat with all of you. I'll go ahead and give the chat an open. I don't see any immediate questions, but I do want to mention to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Our marketing and our another of our assistant director, they do a great job putting different things on social media. It's definitely a good way to stay updated on things at Ursuline, to stay engaged with the Ursuline community, to know what we have going on at Ursuline. We have some different tours on our Snapchat. We also have a YouTube channel, just search Ursuline College. You'll find different videos from different faculty resources, our various podcasts we had over the summer. We actually did a podcast with our food, our Mets a company on campus, and our chef Tyler. So we have a lot of great things going on at Ursuline right now for you to stay engaged in and to learn more information about. We also have various different virtual, just inside UC tidbits coming out throughout the rest of the semester. So stay tuned for those if you are interested. And also just feel free to reach out to us personally. We have ways you can just schedule a call, or you can actually schedule a virtual one-on-one visit, or we're also doing on-campus individualized, personalized visits as well. So if you're interested in coming and seeing our campus and seeing the Cleveland area, we'd be happy to have you. Again, thank you for attending, and I look forward to meeting you all soon.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. There will be a quick survey after this session, or after you close the window for the session. So please fill that out for us. You can also sign up for more sessions by going to the OACAC.org website. There will be a recording available of this session as well, also available at OACAC.org. Thank you for joining.